Mitchell. Both can play the point guard position and give a lot of penetration for Northern Iowa.
And Maryland.
Well, Maryland's still looking to solve that point guard problem. They're going to put Des Wells back at the point, but it's going to be a little point guard by committee as they will play Roddy Peters there along with Arum Ram.
Yeah, remember, Des Wells is a 6'5" point guard. The head coach for the University of Northern Iowa in his 8th season, Ben Jacobson, the fastest in the school's history to 100 wins. He did it in 149 games, his career record, 152 and 88. He'll be going up against Mark Turgeon of the University of Maryland. Now, Turgeon is familiar with the Missouri Valley Conference. He coached at Wichita State, among other schools. And in fact, Mark Turgeon, in the first and only the first of 2 meetings that he went up against Ben Jacobson, he actually lost at home. His Wichita State Shockers team was ranked 16th at the time, but he did end up getting revenge on the return trip to Northern Iowa.
Austin Cook Arena to the Panthers, came back later in the year and beat the Panthers at the McLeod Center. The 1 year Ben Jacobson was a head coach. They went head-to-head. Ben Jacobson was an assistant for a number of years and coached against Mark Turgeon's Wichita State teams.
Well, the University of Northern Iowa coming off the victory against Loyola Marymount. They won 90-81 over Loyola Marymount last season. They made it into the College Insider Tournament. 2 returning starters of that team, 21-15 record a season ago. They made it into the semifinals of the CIT. And for the University of Maryland, which, as mentioned, with the 2-2 record as well, they were in the NIT semifinals 1 season ago, losing to Iowa, but they are looking this season to make it back to the NCAA tournament for the first time since Gary Williams coached the school. That was in the 2009-2010 campaign when they finished 2nd. So a lot riding on this early season meeting between these two.
And Mark Turgeon really likes this team, and he likes this tournament because he's not going to see 3 different types of teams in 4 days. It's going to really help our defense grow. That is his biggest concern with this Maryland team. They have to become consistent at the defensive end.
And something we talk about with the University of Northern Iowa, the league's gotten so good, the reputation's out. The Missouri Valley Conference is dangerous. Nobody wants to play them, so they come down to these tournaments to try and up the RPI.
Certainly have to. You can't get the so-called Power 6 conference to come in the home. Of course, after they beat Kansas in 2010, they were the bracket buster team. No one wanted to play the Northern Iowa Panthers.
Well, Kevin, it's time now to look at the keys of this game, and what do you have for us?
Well, Northern Iowa really wants to set their defense and make Maryland play a half-court offensive game. And Panthers have to make threes. They were 12 of 21 against LMU. Maryland, point guard by committee. You're going to see a number of people. Wells will start, Peters will come in, and Rom will also. And they talked about guarding the arc. We have to take away the 3-ball that the Panthers use to spread out the middle.
There's Matt Bohannon, the redshirt sophomore from Marion, Iowa. Shot 500 shots a day, was in the gym at 6 a.m. every morning. And Chip Rank, whose streak of double-figure scoring games to start the season was ended when he had only 8 against Loyola Marymount, but he has been a very special player. And Maryland coming out to take on Northern Iowa. Joe Lindsay, Jeff Clark, Brian Shea, the peripatetic trio of officials for this one. So we're glad you can join us. Danny Lee, Kevin Lehman, Monica Jonigan, the first of 2 on our air tonight, with Providence and LaSalle coming up, trying to vie for that championship game. In the Paradise Jam, we're underway. Maryland basketball, and Des Wells will bring it across the floor.
And look for Des Wells to go in the post and try to post up the smaller Dion Mitchell.
Smotrich with the turnaround. The tip, no. Trouble with the rebound. It's taken by Seth Tuttle. Here's Washburn, the transfer from Tennessee. First-year Panther, and he'll handle the ball. He's a lefty as he stands inside midcourt.
Northern Iowa will really attempt to spread out the defense. They'll have 3-point shooters in the deep corners. Lots of patience. They will not wait to take the shot that they want.
Tuttle, the baseline jumpers, an air ball from 15, and the rebound off to Smotrich, who's a transfer from Michigan. To Wells, a transfer from Xavier. You got a lot of transfers in this one. Faust from 3, long. Rebound loose, who wants it? It's Northern Iowa again, and looking for some help over on the baseline's Chip Rank.
Well, the block out by Bohannon on the bigger Jake Lehman. He rode him right out of bounds to get that rebound. Bohannon giving up about 5 inches to the 6'8" Jake Lehman.
The Terps got to respect the three. Northern Iowa can shoot him with the best of them. In the blocks, nice feed to Tuttle, who's got the first 2 tonight.
Now Tuttle has a very quick release. He will cut in the post and catch and score quickly. You've got to be really ready for him off some set plays.
You see Jake Lehman, the sophomore from Rentham, Massachusetts. He's the leading scorer, almost 16 a game. Double team in the corner, Smotrich in trouble.
Maryland really trying to force the ball inside against a smaller Panther team.
Here's Faust down the paint, but blows the dunk up into the air. It must have taken plaster with it, and then a foul on Maryland to make matters worse.
You've got to admire the blockouts by Northern Iowa. Watch Seth Tuttle hold off the bigger Claire. Gets his body into him, knocked down, but Faust tried to make a statement with that.
That was ironclad all the way. The foul on Clear is the first against Maryland. And here comes Northern Iowa. The Panthers have the jump on Maryland 2-0. Over in the corner, here we go. 3 ball for the Panthers, not there for Rank. And the Terps now running it up the floor. Wells to the hoop, bumped by Mitchell, and a foul against the guard for the Panthers.
Wells at 6'5", 215 pounds, that strong upper body. And Deion Mitchell's no slouch at 202 pounds, but Wells just put his shoulder down, created the contact, drew the foul.
Here's a takeaway for Washburn. It's a 2-on-1 break. He's got Mitchell on the left. Nice feed to Mitchell, who can't put it away. But Rank's got it, and he'll put it through.
Well, there's a hustle play by Seth Tuttle, but you saw the speed of the 2 guards of Northern Iowa in Wes Washburn and Deion Mitchell. This is a team that Ben Jacobson wants more up-tempo play.
Maryland suffered through a ragged first half in their win against Marist on Friday night. They're 0 for their first 3 here tonight. And Faust is bumped, and Rank now has a foul.
Now, if you look at this team, Northern Iowa is giving up a height advantage in almost every position. The glaring one is Bohannon trying to guard Jake Lehman.
The Panthers, they've won 20 or more the last 5 years, one of only 27 teams in Division I college basketball. And they've won at least 1 postseason game the last 4 years, one of only 11 teams.
Well, they have been the model of consistency in the Missouri Valley Conference upper division 10 years in a row.
Oh, a sloppy play on the cross-court feed to Evan Smotrich, and it will lead to a Maryland turnover.
Well, Smotrich is the guy that Michigan, or the transfer from Michigan, needs to get Maryland going, as he did not score well in their last game. They need his points on the perimeter.
Smotrich sat out 600 days plus before he became eligible here. Here's the feed from Washburn, and he traveled.
Now, Mark Turgeon made an adjustment on the ball screens with West Washburn. They're going to go under the screens and give up the open 3 to West Washburn. That is a little different from his philosophy they talked about today at their shoot-around.
Mitchell is out, and for the first time, Jeremy Morgan is in. Now, Washburn is a guy who Ben Jacobson calls the best athlete he's had in his 8 years as the head coach of the University of Northern Iowa.
With tremendous quickness, a great defender. Lateral movement is excellent.
Here's Lehman triggering a 3, but it rolls out, and Rank's got the rebound. Northern Iowa still putting up a shutout against Maryland. Straight away, a 3 thought about by Tuttle. He finds Bohannon, the gunslinger, for 3.
You cannot peek off of number 5, Bohannon, or he will make you pay. Mark Turgeon not happy with his defense on that play.
Here's Faust trying to end the Schneid, and he does, and he draws the foul and has a chance for a 3-point play.
Well, very rarely with the new rules are you going to see a defensive player be able to draw a charge. But look at what Maryland does. They were not supposed to leave Bohannon. Look at Lehman peek in there just enough for Bohannon with a great release and a quick release. Faust with the answer. as if Bohannon turns his shoulder just enough.
Fouls 10 of 15 now at the line on the year and gets Maryland's first 3 points. Very loud crowd, a very purple crowd here in the Virgin Islands, no less. Washburn.
Both coaches talking about setting their half-court defense, taking away transition game. This is going to be a half-court game where both teams are going to probe.
And a turnover by Morgan. Here comes Faust down the lane and puts it through.
Well, Jeremy Morgan is a freshman, made a freshman mistake as Faust jumped the passing lane.
Northern Iowa 7, Nick Faust 5. 4.5 minutes in. Rankin, Tuttle in trouble. Tuttle had a nice game against Loyola Marymount, stepping up at 21 points, 11 rebounds. First double-double of the year. 8 on the shot clock. Tuttle spins in the post, no good, and Wells now leading a 3-on-2 break. Faust, the alley-oop, and it's another missed dunk. This time for Lehman. Smotrich the 3. No, Mitchell, who's in the game, trying to put it up, can't get it to go. But Mitchell will get to the line, and Maryland getting angry, getting aggressive, and when we return, they'll try to get even. Northern Iowa 7, Maryland 5. Nick Faust putting on the show early. Back with more right after this.
Come visit my island, the United States Virgin Islands.
Discover how life is meant to be. Call your travel agent today.
Spectacular views of the Caribbean are just the beginning at Frenchman's Reef and Morningstar Marriott Beach Resort. Discover a place where turquoise waters meet clear blue skies, where fine dining and poolside bars delightfully coexist, where fun and relaxation are an art form. A Marriott dream vacation awaits you here on the island of St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands. It's all here at Frenchman's Reef and Morningstar Marriott Beach Resort.
UVI is closer than you think.
At UVI, the beach is closer than you think.
At UVI, the professors are closer than you think.
At UVI, your success is closer than you think.
The University of the Virgin Islands is closer than you think. Call us today or visit our website.
Welcome to Belongo Bay Beach Resort, St. Thomas, the Caribbean's most entertaining beach resort. Experience the Caribbean's most entertaining beach resort, Belongo Bay Beach Resort, St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. No passport.
At this point, well, it'll be Charles Mitchell going to the line, and if you were with us the other night, you saw he's not the best free throw shooter. 5 of 21 from the line.
2 for 9 against Maris as that one creams off the back of the rim, and you can see the encouragement from his teammates to get him to relax. At shoot-around, first place that Charles Mitchell went when he walked the gym was to the free throw line.
Well, 1 of 2, it's a step up, certainly. It's a 1-point game. Northern Iowa scored the first 7. Maryland is the last 6. And it's Wes Washburn for the Panthers who bring Dion Mitchell back onto the floor. Mitchell around the defense. Tuttle open for 3.
And Tuttle can make that 3 ball. He passed up a shot I'm sure Ben Jacobson wants him to take.
Strong defense early from Maryland, and a long 3 is way off for Nate Buss into the game.
Well, Nate Buss has worked himself into the lineup for the Panthers, but misfired on that one, as you see. Again, Des Wells with his upper body strength.
Des Wells didn't have a big game that we're used to seeing from the other night, only 2 of 8, 9 points, but he was saddled with a lot of foul trouble, and it's good to see him get off to an early start.
Well, Wes Washburn gets sucked in on the help, and he cannot get back in time. Tuttle late with the block. Des Wells at the free throw line.
Wells, as you may be very well aware, playing point guard out of his normal position because of the injury to Seth Allen. And also, don't forget the transfer of Keyshawn Howard, who would have gotten those minutes, but he transferred to USC in the offseason.
And we yet to see Roddy Peters, the freshman, who had a pretty good night against Marist for the Terrapins.
8-0 run over the last 2 minutes for Maryland. Here's Mitchell. Finds his man Tuttle for 3, and right now it's not falling for Northern Iowa, but Washburn skies for the rebound and a fresh 35.
And Peters in the game, but the foul on the perimeter as Mitchell draws the contact.
There's Seth Allen, who we mentioned. Seth breaking the metatarsal, the 5th metatarsal bone in his left foot on October 29th in practice, out 8 to 10 weeks. He was 4th on the team in scoring last week, and everybody tells us this team might be 4-0 if he's on the floor right now.
We really hope to have him back in time for competition in the ACC.
It'll be the swan song in the ACC for Maryland going to the Big Ten next year. Mitchell for 3, and that will not go. But another long rebound, this time to Bohannon. Here comes Mitchell to the hoop, and his foul going up.
Well, Mitchell is a little bit like Des Wells. He has great upper body strength, explosive first step, and he is fearless when he attacks the basket as he draws contact there. As we mentioned, 11 free throws against LMU in the Northern Iowa Panther victory.
And you just like saying Pflugerville, Texas, his hometown.
Got a great ring to it, doesn't it? First player from Texas to play for the Northern Iowa Panthers.
Pflugerville, by the way, is a suburb of Austin. 8 to 7 still to score. Northern Iowa has gone over 2 minutes without scoring. You see Mitchell, 14.8 points per game to pace the Panthers. Came in a 76% free throw shooter, and he gets the second.
Well, Mitchell's really done. He came as a freshman. They really let him go loose, kicked the ball around a little bit. He has improved his ball handling every year as one of the best guards in the Missouri Valley Conference this season.
Varun Ram, a former walk-on for the Panthers, or for the Terps rather. He played a career-high 19 minutes on Friday night against Marist. Here's Mitchell, the left wing 3. That rolls off, and right now, the Panthers are 1 of 5 in the place they call home downtown.
Well, Mark Turgeon, big emphasis today. Pressure the 3 ball. Again, Des Wells with that power and strength all the way to the rim.
Des Wells with 4, and Maryland up by 2. Northern Iowa's field goal drought continues. Outlet in the corner, on the way to the hoop. Morgan goes into the corner, and the shot not there for Buss. Clamoring for the rebound, and it looks like Varun Ram, the Division III transfer from Trinity College in Connecticut, will get called for the foul.
Ted Friedman, the freshman for the Panthers out of Ankeny, Iowa, backside rebound. This is a guy that Ben Jacobson really likes. Started him earlier in the season, but now is going to bring him off the bench. A little small lineup with Chip Rank to give him some more offensive punch.
Yeah, they got the shooters out there. Bohannon inbounding, going to Buss. And here's Mitchell. Over on the wing, Morgan, bad pass, and it'll be off to the races, and Peter, he'll dunk it in. So Roddy Peters, the point guard coming off the bench, the freshman, gives Maryland a 4-point lead.
Well, that's twice that the freshman Jeremy Morgan has thrown that wing-to-point pass that's been picked off and turned into 2 easy points for Maryland.
And Varun Ram becomes exhibit, well, A, B, Z, whatever you want to call it, for the new crackdown on the charging.
And Jeremy Morgan he's still adjusting the quickness of the college game as Peters picks it up, turns it into an easy 2 points.
Peters, the freshman from District Heights, Maryland. Here's Mitchell. And Ram will be called for kicking.
On these flat ball screens up top by Northern Iowa, Mark Turgeon said we're going to go below these screens. We're going to change the way we play on Mitchell and Washburn and let them stop behind the screen and shoot the three if they want. He really wants to stop their penetration because that leads the threes by Rank and Bohannon out of the corners.
You got the platoon substitutions, bringing all 5 starters in the back. Yes, you can throw it into the backcourt in college basketball on an out-of-bounds play. Washburn, Bohannon, Tuttle, Mitchell up the floor for Northern Iowa. And in the corner, here's Rank. Here comes Mitchell, stripped by Rahm, and another solid defensive play for Varun Rahm. We saw a lot of those in the victory over Marist, and the junior from Clarksville, Maryland, makes yet another. 11:55 to go. It'll stay with the Panthers. When we return, the Terrapins 12, the Panthers 8. Stick with us here on CBS Sports Network.
Imagine the power of a giant TV production truck in a compact, portable video production system. NewTek TriCaster has everything you need for a network-style video production. Camera switching, graphics, special effects, virtual sets, and more. You can stream your production live to the internet and record up to 8 separate channels of HD video all in one system. NewTek TriCaster. It's a television studio in a box. Find out more at newtek.com.
Now, as you can see, don't you love technology? Yeah, no problem. There we go. How are the girls? Uh-huh.
Come on, boy, just a little.
Scott, business is tough, but with great offers at Avis.com, we give you the space to turn your business trip into a bizcation. Avis, it's your space.
I thought Peters and Rahm really gave Maryland a nice lift to that point guard position.
In the corner, Peters, foot on the line, no. Faust there with the rebound, puts it back up and in, and Faust is having a great game so far.
He is. Faust has that size and quickness advantage over Northern Iowa, but how about Northern Iowa with a quick answer as Tuttle, the big man, outruns clear down the court. That will not make Coach Turgeon very happy.
Exactly what they needed, ending nearly a 5-minute field goal scoring drought. Here's the kick out. Faust again. Can he do it again? No, long on the 3. Panthers in purple. They're on the prowl.
Maryland, their defense is packed in around that three-point line. They have not stretched it out. It's caused some difficulty for Northern Iowa to get any penetration.
To Bohannon, not getting any space at all. Underneath Tuttle on the big man, clear, stripped. Keeps it. In the corner, Rank the 3. No, not there. And Peters flags down the rebound.
Well, Maryland's got a little bigger players and quicker. It's causing problems for Northern Iowa to get comfortable looks at the 3-ball.
It's a scrum for the rebound, and Washburn comes up with it, and the lefty dribbling up the floor blows by Faust. Rank the open trigger man. Bohannon, no. And now 1 for 6 is Northern Iowa from three-point range. Make it now 1 for 7.
Bohannon with the 1-3 ball for Northern Iowa. And that's what Turchi said. I want him to only get about 4 or 5 threes. You see, Jake Lehman shows it. He can knock down the 3 ball. He hit one straight on from the top.
Lehman came into the game shooting 52% from three-point range. And Northern Iowa started this game off scoring the first 7 points, but since then, it's been pretty much all Maryland.
It's been a very strong defensive effort by Maryland.
Rank the quick 3, well off.
Now, one of our keys for UNI was to make the 3 ball because it opens up driving lanes. You almost play a 4-out, 1-in when they get done with their motion.
Peters tied up, and the defense coming through for Northern Iowa again. Washman leading the break to Rank, who puts it around and in.
Nice move by Rank to use the net and the rim, the shield, so Faust cannot get the block. And here the UNI Panther fans are getting into this game, trying to get the team fired up.
It's Wells, the junior out of Raleigh, North Carolina. Getting instructions from Mark Turgeon, a former point guard himself, for Larry Brown with the Kansas University Jayhawks. Can Peters do it again? No, way off. Both teams going to the well from three-point range here early, Kevin.
They both have a packed-in defense. Northern Iowa barely gets outside the three-point line, so it's almost a zone look with their man-to-man.
Well, yikes, we've seen 14 three-pointers and all of 1 made so far.
Well, that was the key for the Panthers. They've got to be able to make threes and put pressure on the inside defense.
Lehman, the runner, not off glass for him, and Rank's got it. Here's Mitchell zooming through the D, tunnel down the lane. Faust not believing that he should be whistled for the foul, but he is.
And Northern Iowa's getting out and running with Deion Mitchell. Tuttle not able to finish, but a chance to go to the free throw line. Excellent free throw shooter for the junior, who was preseason first team All-Missouri Valley.
Well, Faust, the leading scorer in this game for Maryland. He's got 2 fouls, and with 8:08 to go, and here comes Seth Tuttle to the line.
You see Tuttle only shooting 41% from the field this season. He is 7th all-time for Northern Iowa field goal percentage, usually up in the mid-50s.
Tuttle, a pretty good free throw shooter at 86%. Was the Missouri Valley Conference Freshman of the Year in 2012.
Tried to put on some upper body weight so he can play more physical inside, as Mark Turgeon keeps bringing in fresh bodies. Rom at the point, Des Wells back to the wing.
Panthers only shooting 23%, but they found a way to stay in it. Only down 2. Mitchell, corner, 3, no. Once again, Lehman can't get it to drop.
Well, it's been one and done. The Panthers did a great job of blocking out.
Washman into the teeth of the beast.
Well, you have to stop him at the point of attack as he went right down Main Street and scored that basket.
Rom, once again, Lehman, another shot, another 3, and another miss. Mitchell, though, grabs a rebound, wrenched away by Washman. Oh, and now they're all tied up, and it's getting interesting over there. It's the slugfest that Northern Iowa loves so much. Northern Iowa 16, Maryland 16. We've got a good one. Stick with us right here on CBS Sports Network.
We are World Vision, and we believe in children. We believe in God's calling to share our lives with them, to share a meal, to share water, to share love, to share a full life.
If you believe, share with a child today at worldvision.org/share.
Come visit my island, the United States Virgin Islands.
Discover how life is meant to be. Call your travel agent today.
A 16-16 tie between the Northern Iowa Panthers and the Maryland Terrapins. Folks, not everyone can be a quarterback. Amen to that. So get inside the minds of those who can. Join Phil Simms, Rich Gannon, Steve Berline, and special guest Hall of Famer Dan Marino on NFL Monday QB, delivered by FedEx tomorrow at 6:30 Eastern, only on CBS Sports Network, the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. Well, we've got an interesting tug of war going on right now between Northern Iowa and Maryland, their first ever meeting here, Kevin.
Both teams and both coaches have packed in their defense, giving up the 3 ball. The Panthers just 1 for 10 as Bohannon knocked one in, but Maryland 0 for 6 from the arc.
Well, Northern Iowa started off this game with 7 straight points. Maryland then proceeded to go on what was a 12-1 run. Now the last 6 over the last 2.5 minutes have been scored by the Panthers, and it's 16-16. And now let's go to Monica Jonigan.
Danny, Coach Turgeon telling his team we're doing the right things. They're missing shots on the perimeter, and they're trying to run on us because they're not knocking those shots down. We got to get back on transition. We can't give them easy buckets, and watch the pick and rolls on the wing on defense, guys.
Thanks, Monica. And what did Mark Turgeon talk about with us earlier today, Kevin? If we can get Northern Iowa to attempt a lot of threes but not make a whole lot, we're in good hands. That's what they've got right now, but yet they're trailing.
Really wanted contested threes and didn't want to spread his defense out. He wanted to attack with hands high and turn those 3-point shooters into dribblers.
Tuttle's got 8 points now, and all of a sudden Northern Iowa's back on top. And Varun Ram still handling point guard duties as he goes to Lehman. Over on the wing, Wells. Maryland ball, 7 minutes to go in the half. Ram will fire the 3. That's well long. Mitchell grabs a rebound. The spin move, and it's a good one.
Charles Mitchell is an instant impact when he comes off the bench. What a great score for Maryland. And Mark Turgeon would tell you, I like to bring him off the bench because he changes the way that you have to defend.
Mitchell, he and his buddy, front court mate Shaq Lear, losing about 50 pounds combined over the offseason, and now an offensive foul is going to be called. They're going to call Seth Tuttle for a hook.
Tuttle likes that baseline, and if you use that upper part of your arm to create an offensive advantage, that is an offensive foul. Ben Jacobson asking the official, really? But Ben Jacobson did not have the same view we had. That is an offensive foul on the hook play by Seth Tuttle.
Here's Smotrich directing traffic, the redshirt junior from Reading, Mass. Head fake, Lehman step back 3, and that rolls in. And actually it's a 2, his foot was on the line.
Boy, it is a pretty release by Jake Lehman.
They exchange the lead here in the Virgin Islands at the Easy Bonds Paradise Jam. Washburn ranked for the Panthers.
See how much room Des Wells is playing off Washburn. Washburn not known as a shooter as he airballs that one, but what hustle by the Panthers to keep the ball in play.
And a long 3 for Bohannon, and that's well short. Well, that's the old cliche. They say you live by the 3, you die by the 3. But right now, even though Northern Iowa's not connecting, they're still within 2 points.
Well, and Ben Jacobs is going to tell them, keep firing, because there's going to come a stretch where they get hot. I don't think Coach Jacobson minds that they're shooting so many threes.
And that's been the Achilles heel for Maryland this season. We got a foul before Lehman's shot. I think they're going to wave this off, and they're going to say it's a Maryland foul. But the Achilles heel for the Terps this season, they've allowed 44% three-point shooting from the opponents, the worst mark among all ACC teams, and they're facing a three-point shooting team.
Well, what they're doing on this ball screen, as we've mentioned a number of times, going below, so there's not penetration. Northern Iowa tries to get penetration with Washburn and Mitchell to set up the 3 on the weak side.
8 team fouls now against Maryland because that was an offensive foul, no free throws. Just possession back to the Panthers. Here's Friedman in the post. The freshman out of Ankeny, Iowa. Cross court to Mitchell, just 1 point today. Nice drop off feed, blocked from behind. And it's the 6'5", I guess you call him point guard Wells, with the defense on the big man.
Well, Mitchell makes good penetration. Dion Mitchell, but then Charles Mitchell sticks it in the crutch of the rim.
Here's Roddy Peters handling the point. The third different point guard we've already seen for Maryland, such as their story these days. Mitchell, the turnaround not there.
Now Northern Iowa sending the double man after Mitchell. He's created so much havoc inside. They are going to double the post.
Oh, Mitchell blows by them all and puts it through.
Talked about Mitchell's ability to get inside the defense. He has excellent body control. He can slice through there and score.
Mitchell, a 23-point game against Loyola Marymount, just 4 shy of a 27-point game he had against Toledo last year. Wells the long shot, and Mitchell trying to lead the break. They got a 3-on-2 if they want it. Buss. Mitchell to the hoop. No one wants to defend him, so he takes advantage.
Well, again, we talk about his body control as he gets into the paint, able to finish. He keeps his eye on the prize and has great concentration on his finishes.
And the Panthers faithful rising and cheering. All the way from Cedar Falls, Iowa comes Northern Iowa's team. There's Wells on the drive to the hoop.
Wells with the same thing at the other end, able to penetrate and score. Panther defenders not able to get in front of Des Wells. Boy, Danny, just what we expected. A tight defensive battle. No easy baskets for either team.
Outlet corner bust. The 13-3 is a good one for Northern Iowa.
Nate Buss, a 64% field goal shooter for the Panthers, gives them some real pop off the bench.
Here's Lehman down the paint. And this is going to be called a block. And once again, Kevin, those rule emphases come into play, and that charging not whistled. Instead, it's a block called against Northern Iowa, and there will be free throws when we return. The Panthers hanging tough, and it's the 3 from Buss. We'll be back. 25-22 the score.
Spectacular views of the Caribbean are just the beginning at Frenchman's Reef and Morningstar Marriott Beach Resort. Discover a place where turquoise waters meet clear blue skies, where fine dining and poolside bars delightfully coexist, where fun and relaxation are an art form. A Marriott dream vacation awaits you here on the island of St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands. It's all here at Frenchman's Reef and Morning.
We got a packed house again at the Easy Bombs Paradise Jam, as per usual. Well, for Northern Iowa against Loyola Marymount on Friday night, they had a 53-36 lead. Yeah, hold on to your beer, folks. They were shot 10 of 14 from three-point range. Tonight, they have but 25 points, albeit the lead. However, they are but 2 of 13, Kevin.
And Mark Turgeon said, know who their shooters are. Chip Rank, 0 for 3. They're putting pressure on him. Matt Bohannon, 1 for 4. They are in their face, making those two players bounce on the catch.
The leading scorers all have 6. Jake Lehman and Des Wells for Maryland. Seth Tuttle for UNI. Going to the line will be Maryland. The foul before the break, by the way, was against Nate Buss. That's his first, and it's number 7 against UNI. And going to the line is Jake Lehman. Lehman 6 of 7 from the foul line. He connects and will go down to Monica Jonigan.
Guys, Coach Jacobson told his team, look for your shots. We can spread the floor. Look for your shots on the perimeter. If they're not there, cut hard to the basket. He says those shots aren't falling, but they will. And keep shooting, guys.
Just what you talked about, Kevin. Spreading the floor and knocking down those shots and keep shooting it.
Ben Jacobson instills great confidence in his players. Keep shooting is the montage of those guys, and they're going to get hot at some point.
Here's the 3, another one, and yes, Buss has connected on his last 2.
Nate Buss goes 4 for 4 against LMU, including 2 for 2 from the three-point line, and he is back on target today.
And those back-to-back threes, Mark Turgeon tries to stop the bleeding, because that's exactly what he talked about.
Well, Buss is a guy that he didn't play earlier for the Panthers, has worked his way back in. Mark Turgeon wants his players to understand there's that pick and pop move that the Panthers are famous for. They've got a number of guys going to do it. Nate Buss out of Charles City splashes Nate Twine.
Nate's dad was a football player at Northern Iowa. Jeff from 1980 through 84 had 3 letters for the Panthers. Got a 28-24 Northern Iowa lead with 2:50 to go. Their largest lead was 7-0. Maryland once led by 6, but now find themselves trailing, and it'll be Maryland basketball out of the timeout. They've got Peters in the backcourt along with Faust, Wells, and on the front court, Rahm and Smotrich.
They've gone with Smotrich as the 5-man. They've taken out the bigs for Maryland. They're going to go with a quicker, smaller lineup.
Wells rises, and the right-hander is good.
Danny, I don't know how you defend that. Was Faust. Makes the steal and converts.
He is everywhere tonight. So 4 quick points for Maryland to tie it up. That's the complexion of this one.
Well, Northern Iowa's given away 6 easy baskets off bad passes and easy hoops for Maryland.
And another offensive foul and another turnover as a result. The Panthers give it up again. The foul is going on Bohan in his second. Maryland basketball, we saw a different kind of Maryland team out there on Friday night. They used Mitchell and sometimes Clear at the same time. Tonight we see Smotrich playing center. We haven't seen a whole lot of that this season.
Well, using them for a high screen, looking for a little pick and pop with Smotrich.
And a travel by Wells, and he now has some complaints for the official.
And the 6th turnover for Maryland. UNI with 7, but those have been converted to quick points by Maryland on the Northern Iowa turnovers.
And Shaquille Clear re-enters for the Terps, taking Faust out. Faust has had a big game so far. 7 points on 3 of 5 shooting. Had that steal in the backcourt to tie it.
Coach, you tell your team, if you turn it over, let's get our defense set. Northern Iowa's turned over. They cannot get their defense set, have given up easy points. Maryland's turnovers have not resulted in easy points.
There's Tuttle with the head fake, strong to the hoop.
And there's a case with that arc and the new rules. The defender, Smotrich, just got out of the way because he knew he could not draw a charge foul.
Tuttle with 8 points on 2 of 8 shooting. Smotrich against Buss. Smotrich will step back from 3. Maryland still has not hit from 3-point range, 0 for 8. Smotrich, this time the runner, and he'll try to get 3 points the old-fashioned way.
If you don't knock in the 3 ball, put it on the deck and draw some contact, and that's what Evan Smotrich did on that play. Drives it, shoulder in, and scores it. Matt
Morrison in for UNI. First time today we've seen Matt Solon, Iowa. Senior, 6 foot, and chipped right back in.
What Des Wells tells today, that official told him, if you're not in front of the guy, you got to get out of the way because you're going to get a foul call. You just saw that on Nate Buss. Schmackman with a step. Buss bumps him, foul, go to the free throw line.
Seems counterintuitive for a player out there. Just got to let him go. You were surprised by those comments.
Des Wells kind of scratched his head when he told me that. He said, I'm too competitive to let him go.
I'll take the foul, thank you very much.
Because Des, sat on the bench a lot in that Maryland's first half because he picked up those 2 early fouls.
Here's Tuttle. He thinks about the three. He's matched up with Mitchell. Well defended. 6 on the shot clock. Someone's got to shoot it. It'll be Morrison. 2. Turnaround.
Great defensive stand by Maryland. Northern Iowa a little stagnant, and now you've got the final possession by the Terrapins as the clock runs down to 24. Shot clock off.
Terps play this right. They'll walk into the halftime locker room ahead.
Probably going up with a ball screen. Des Wells to use his strength and power. Here comes the ball screen by Mitchell.
There's Wells down the paint, puts it in. 3 seconds, 2. Washburn from about 60 feet out comes up short, and the Terps take a 3-point lead into the locker room. Well, they dodged a couple of Northern Iowa runs. They shot 47% in the first half, leading the way Des Wells. But you saw what he could do. He stays out of foul trouble, Kevin. 10 points on 5 of 7 shooting and 4 rebounds. Let's go down to Monica Jonigan.
Coach, I heard you tell your team you're doing the right thing on defense, and you managed to get the lead. What are they buying into in this?
Well, we're playing hard. What a college basketball game. My gosh. Both teams are playing really hard. It's intense. I think both teams are playing well, but neither team can really make a shot. A couple teams, we made a couple, they made a couple, but it's very physical. It's a great college basketball game. They
were dry from the three-point line in the first half, but you know they can shoot it. How do you get your team to keep up the intensity and keep them from knocking that down shots when they make a run?
Well, we want them to beat us with 2s, not 3s, and we've done a pretty good job at the three-point line. We got to stay down on Tuttle's shot fake. That would really help us a lot. We've given up 5 points on that, so. But it's just a great game. We can play a lot better, hopefully, on offense in the second half.
Good luck in the second half, Coach. Guys, back to you.
Wow, Mark looks like he's played a few minutes in this first half himself. This kind of reminds him of those Wichita State days in the Valley. His team, though, outlasting Northern Iowa in the first half, up 3. Back with more at the half.
We're at the 2013 Paradise Jam. In 14 years here on St. Thomas, we've done a lot of awesome things, but never something like this.
This is the water jetpack, new here to St. Thomas. Anyone who's ever dreamt of flying, ever wanted to learn how to fly, this is about as close as it gets. On an introductory flight, you're going to be porpoising like a dolphin, you're going to be running on the water, and of course flying high like Buzz Lightyear. So those are kind of the 3 things you're going to be doing in an introductory flight.
Perfect. Right arm up, right arm up, right arm up a little, right arm up. There you go. Just like that. That's exactly where I want you. Right there. Very nice. Oh, you're ready to fly. What I want you to do now is slowly bring your arms up till just your feet are in the water. And now that you're there, just start walking with those legs. You're walking on water. Okay, so all you got to do to go underwater is you're going to bring both hands down into the water. When you're ready to come back up, bring both hands back up. Very nice. Very nice.
people who have ever gone parasailing or jet skiing, anything like that, this is going to be completely different. This is the newest adventure basically here in St. Thomas. So you guys actually have this great deal of flying at $100 at discounted price all the way up until November 30th. So just mention Paradise Jam and we'll definitely give you guys that rate.
That definitely was one of the craziest things I've ever done, Mark. Thanks for letting me come out and fly with you. Looks like I earned some wings.
You have definitely earned your jetpack wings, so you're a natural. Come back again soon.
All right, all you Paradise Jammers, come out and check out the St. Thomas Jet Riders.
Welcome to the Paradise Jam. Each November, I like to take my Paradise Jam family down to the one and only golf course on St. Thomas, Mahogany Run. Let's head down to the first tee.
Mahogany Run, being the only golf course on the island, designed by two world-famous golf course architects, Tom Fazio and his dad, George, have some really unique and exciting holes. We have the Devil's Triangle, which is maybe three of the most beautiful holes in golf, looking over the Atlantic and the Caribbean Ocean. Holes where you're hitting, 125 to 150 yards from tee boxes to over the ocean onto a small tee complex. Everybody finds the course. It's challenging, forgiving in areas, and truly unforgiving in certain areas. I mean, obviously you can tell who the basketball players are. They're a little taller than most of the island people, but it's wonderful for the course. It's wonderful for the economy down here. It's wonderful for Mahogany Run to have people like that down here doing something for the community down here, and being able to host them at our golf course is really, it's a pleasure to have them down here.
During the Paradise Jam, not only can you enjoy spectacular views like this, but for the right price, you can own a beautiful villa out here at Botany Bay.
We're out here today at Villa Witta, which is a $25 million property that spans over 15,000 square feet of usable space. It's on 4 acres on a waterfront lot, and it's inside the Botany Bay Preserve, which is managed by the Timbers Resorts based out of Carbondale, Colorado. They picked the nicest 400 acres on the island. It overlooks the Mermaid's Chair, the west end of the island, and out over to Culebra, Puerto Rico, and the Spanish Virgin Islands. The entire home is based around the lifestyle that a pirate would probably enjoy. It certainly shows it in the collection of artifacts. It's sort of a modern-day pirate has this fortress where he keeps all the bounty that he's collected, and I think that's really how the owner looks at it. Also, the quality here, the workmanship inside, it's second to none, absolutely no expense spared. There's a lot of antiques and original artifacts. There's actual treasure chests that were recovered from pirate ships, original cannons, and several 17th century antiques. There's actually a chandelier from a Russian opera house in here that was disassembled and reassembled here. And obviously the location is incredible. It's probably one of the best home sites in the Caribbean. It has to be experienced to be believed. It's really more of like a fairy tale type atmosphere than anything I've ever seen. The U.S. Virgin Islands is uniquely set up for people to take advantage of the tax benefits. There's no state or local taxes other than federal taxes for residents. Anybody who resides here gets to take advantage of that, and the price points are all across the board from $300,000 to $25 million. There's pretty much something for everybody. Give us a call at USVI Sotheby's International Realty. We'd be happy to help you online, or sotheby'srealtyusvi.com is our website.
Welcome to the United States Virgin Islands. We know you'll enjoy your stay in one of the most beautiful places in the Caribbean. We invite you to visit all 3 islands: St. Croix, St. John, and St. Thomas. St. Croix offers some of the most incredible dive sites in the Caribbean. Explore the pier, a shipwreck, the wall, and even go on a night dive. And with 7 flags having flown over this Caribbean jewel, St. Croix offers one of the most diverse cultures in all of the Caribbean. Want to hike, swim, and explore an underwater trail and an incredible vista all in the same day? Then you can't miss St. John. With 2/3 of the island dedicated as a national park, it's easy to find a view that takes your breath away. St. Thomas offers some of the best shopping deals in the Caribbean, and the U.S. Virgin Islands duty-free limit is $1,600, so be sure to take advantage of the savings. If a romantic destination wedding is in your future, plan your hassle-free nuptials in the U.S. Virgin Islands. Don't forget to let your guests know that there's no passport required for U.S. citizens. For more information on the USVI, log on to visitusvi.com or download our free My Virgin Islands smartphone app to learn more about things to do, restaurants, shops, and much more. Explore the endless unscripted vacation opportunities that await you. Thank you for visiting the United States Virgin Islands, St. Croix, St. John, and St. Thomas.
Academics are the focus. We had an opportunity to sit down with assistant coach Mike Scholl from Loyola Marymount, who has that theme down and he's driving it home to his team. Take a look.
I think international recruitment has helped us tremendously. It's allowed us to tap into untapped talent bases throughout Africa and Europe, and kind of we're in Los Angeles, where every program in the country recruits Los Angeles. So we've been fortunate to get some good players out of Los Angeles, but also we want to thin out that the competition base and try to get some other access to talent bases, which we have done in Africa and in Europe. I think it's helped us greatly. Having international players benefits our team, our program, and our university tremendously. I think the first thing is the cultural diversity. I think not just the team, but the entire student body benefits by having students from other countries that have different life experiences and have done different things. I think it enhances the entire student body. And also with our team, it lets people understand that they get close to individuals who have lived a different way. The island can benefit by tournaments like this, the Paradise Jam and others, by having college athletes and high-level college basketball in their communities and accessible to see games live. But I think more importantly, the teams and the student athletes and college students benefit from these experiences. Cultural experiences, putting yourself outside your comfort zone a lot of times and traveling to new places. We traveled to Spain with Basketball Travelers International on a foreign tour 4 years ago, which I have all 4 of my seniors that are here went on that trip. So when we went out of the country to Spain, we had a long conversation with our team about how we're viewed internationally. I've traveled a lot internationally, and just letting them know that sometimes we're viewed as the ugly Americans because we can't, put ourselves outside of our comfort zones and see things for how people do it in their culture. And when we went to Spain, for me, it wasn't about the games, it wasn't about the practices, but we visited Madrid, Valencia, and Barcelona. And coming from a Jesuit school like Loyola Marymount, we were able to retrace some of the steps of the pilgrimage of St. Ignatius, our founder. I think it grounded it for my young men that this is somebody that made a difference. And I think that was a highlight for them. The games and playing in Spain, that was a highlight for them, actually retracing the steps of St. Ignatius and some of the steps of the pilgrimage. In South Africa, I created a program that was really a sports and recreation program that had HIV and AIDS prevention at its core, funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. I am very fortunate with my foundation to have great people and great sponsors and funders working with it. But I think the model that we created there was providing access to young people to play sports and to really learn life lessons within those sporting arenas.
You're watching the U.S. Virgin Islands Paradise Jam. We'll be back with more after the break. Stay with us.
Come visit my island, the United States Virgin Islands.
Discover how life is meant to be. Call your travel agent today.
Spectacular views of the Caribbean are just the beginning at Frenchman's Reef and Morningstar Marriott Beach Resort. Discover a place where turquoise waters meet clear blue skies, where fine dining and poolside bars delightfully coexist, where fun and relaxation are an art form. A Marriott dream vacation awaits you here on the island of St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands. It's all here at Frenchman's Reef and Morningstar Marriott Beach Resort.
UVI is closer than you think.
At UVI, the beach is closer than you think.
At UVI, the professors are closer than you think.
At UVI, your success is closer than you think.
The University of the Virgin Islands is closer than you think. Call us today or visit our website.
Big stories in the first half. Northern Iowa raced out to a 7-0 lead, but they were undone by those early turnovers.
No question. And you look for Mark Turgeon said, I'd rather give up 2s than 3s. They did a great job defending the three-point line. I look for Northern Iowa to change the way they deal with their ball screen. But in the first half, it's a 3-point lead by Maryland. Northern Iowa does not turn the ball over, but look at this. They've got 8 points off of turnovers as Rodney Peters steals one. And then Faust says, get off the track, the train is coming. He gets 2 dunks off miscues and then finishes one at the rim. Nick Faust with 9 points for the Maryland Terrapins.
The leaders for both teams, Seth Tuttle with 10, Des Wells with 10, but Nate Buss helped bring them back, Kevin.
And Mitchell, we talked about his ability to control his body inside as he scores inside, but Nate Buss off the bench splashes one from the corner and then straight on a pick and pop by the 6'9" junior out of Charles City, Iowa.
Well, the statistic that we were talking about in the first half, three-point shooting, we saw 22 of them, 3 of them made by Northern Iowa, but Maryland 0 for 8.
And you would think that would be an ugly-looking game. This has been a great basketball game, even though these teams have not shot it well from the three-point line.
Well, moments ago, Monica Jonigan caught up with Northern Iowa coach Ben Jacobson.
Coach Jacobson, you told your team, even though you were 1 of 7 from the three-point line early, you told them to keep shooting and have confidence. You knew they were going to be knocking them down, and now you're in a close game.
Yeah, you know, we did. We made a couple after that. For Chip Rank and Matt Bohannon to get those kind of shots, those are ones we're going to take anytime we can get them, so we'll see if we can find some more of those in the second half.
You've had some success driving the ball to the basket. Your guards are taking advantage of the real estate they're giving them. What did you tell them at the halftime to try to keep that?
Yeah, we wanted to be really aggressive with Dion and Wes, and Dion's had a great game and a half so far. Wes has played well. You know, those 2 guys are hard to keep out of the lane, and so we've got to have those guys driving, and that'll be a big part of the second half.
Good luck going forward, Coach.
Thanks.
Well, we've got Tuttle driving in the lane to start the second half here, and a foul called on Des Wells to put Tuttle on the line. Here are the leading scorers so far. I mentioned Wells with 10, Tuttle officially with 8 points to pace Northern Iowa.
And Wells was only 9 2 nights ago as he was in foul trouble. Has really been assertive in this game. Of course, Lehman has knocked in 3 just at the arc, close to being 3s, but toe on the line.
Tuttle came into the game at 86%. He's a perfect 4 of 4 at the line, make it 5 of 5.
That was an isolation play by Northern Iowa. Coming out of the halftime, they got Tuttle isolated at the middle floor at the high post. Sweep move, draws the foul on clear.
Maryland's lead at 1. Their largest lead of the first half was 6, as mentioned. Northern Iowa's 7. Smotrich gets inside and scores.
Well, and what does Mark Turgeon do? He comes back with an own set of himself, a misdirection play, and open player on the weak side.
Tuttle, three-pointer not there, and the three-point shooting struggles still continue for both sides. 3 for 15 now, Northern Iowa. Smotrich in the corner. He'll kick it out, and Des Wells will try now. They're 0 for 9.
And again, Northern Iowa holding blockouts against a much larger team in Maryland.
Mitchell with a fantastic crossover, and now Des Wells will be called for his 2nd foul of this half.
Well, Dion Mitchell, he can stand you up and go by you. So he comes down court. You got an ankle breaker. It was interesting in the first half. Mark Turgeon went to that smaller lineup. Smockridge at the 5, almost with 5 perimeter players, and took his 2 bigs out, Clear and Mitchell.
It was right around the time when Buss started hitting those threes. See if that presents itself here. Tuttle will try for 3 again. Boy, they're sticking to their guns. They're going to try and shoot those 3-pointers, but they still aren't falling on a regular basis. Here's Maryland's ball with Des Wells running the controls at the point. Got it back on the wing underneath the Clear, double teamed. Cross-court Faust with a good first half, and it continues. First 3 of the game for Maryland.
Faust has had a great game offensively and defensively as he turns steals into points in the first half and now knocks down the deep jumper.
Let's see if that lights the fire for the Terps, tying their largest lead of the game. Steele, Smotrich, Wells up the floor. Washburn spun around himself, but Tuttle grabs the rebound. Here come the Panthers, and the turnover, no, they're gonna say it's touched by Faust. It was a risky pass nonetheless by Washburn. Washburn, as we mentioned, the transfer from Tennessee. We're looking at Bohannon, who's now being looked at by the training staff. So they'll have 20 seconds to try and sort that out. We'll see what happened here, Kevin.
It's a little inadvertent to the left eyebrow, and he took one in the noggin in the first half. Matt Bohannon. There's a long line of Bohannons in the state of Iowa. His father, Gordy, was a quarterback for the Iowa Hawkeyes 1985 Rose Bowl team for Hayden Fry.
And he's got a lot of brothers playing hoops too. Jason played at Wisconsin, Iowa Mr. Basketball, Big Ten Sixth Man of the Year, now playing in Germany. And his brother Zach is a 5th-year senior at Wisconsin. He's got a brother Jordan who's being recruited perhaps to Northern Iowa.
Jordan, a sophomore at Linn-Mar High School, already offered a scholarship by the Northern Iowa staff.
6-point game, Maryland matching their largest lead of the night. See if Mark Turgeon's team can have another big second half like they did on Friday. Ranked for 3. There it is.
Mark Turgeon talks to his team about misdirection plays by Northern Iowa to bring the shooter up the back. That's just what Chip Rank did. He filled in from behind as his man sunk for the pick and roll.
Trying to match, and he does, and Lehman puts it through.
Nice set by Maryland. Run that down screen for Lehman at 6'8". He comes curling off. He's had that shot a number of times and turned it down in the first half.
Well, pushing the back, and there you go again. That's where they're cracking down. And this time Clear is whistled as the aggressor with the second foul.
Both these teams have really good offensive sets where they stretch you out. You see Mitchell takes it left, Rank comes up long, and he has great range. Lehman off the down screen. Boom. 6'8", tough to contest.
University of Northern Iowa and Maryland, each a 2-2, first ever meeting between these two. The Panthers in the purple, Maryland in the white. On the baseline, Tuttle spinning, having trouble. Mitchell wrenches it away, a held ball. Possession will go Maryland's way.
Well, there's a battle inside. Mitchell with the strength just rips it away from Tuttle.
Mitchell has about 30 pounds on Tuttle. Peters lobbing it in. There's Mitchell, 6'8", 260 in the post.
Well, Northern Iowa with a strong double team and forces Rank to recover.
Smotrich can't connect. Lehman grabs it on the baseline. There's Peters. Slips it off to Mitchell, and that's rejected by Tuttle. Mitchell trying to do it himself, goes up on Peters, and it's going to be an offensive foul. Looked like he used the forearm.
Danny, that's an emphasis now. We had that block charge call, but you, as an offensive player, you cannot create any advantage with your forearm. Mitchell surprised at the call, but that is the right call. Watch that right forearm create a little space. Foul on Deion Mitchell.
Mitchell playing up top to start as the screener for Wells. Smotrich getting it back in the corner. Can he connect? Yes, he does. And we've got a shootout at the USVI Corral here.
Both squads like to run that little pick and pop move. Lehman, Smotrich executed to perfection.
44-35 to score. And underneath, it's put through by Tuttle.
Really good patience by Washburn as he gets the ball to the middle of the floor, creates an passing angle, and lets Tuttle settle in before he delivers it.
Over on the wing, it's Wells. Maryland basketball, they've got a 7-point lead. Peters handling the point for the Maryland Terrapins. Through the defense, fouled, and he gets it to go. The Terrapins trying to pull away from Northern Iowa, going up by 9, trying to push the lead to double figures. Peters, the aggressiveness. We'll be back with more.
Welcome to Belongo Bay Beach Resort, St. Thomas, the Caribbean's most entertaining beach resort. Experience the Caribbean's most entertaining beach resort, Belongo Bay Beach Resort, St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. No passport required.
Imagine the power of a giant TV production truck in a compact portable video production system. NewTek TriCaster has everything you need for a network-style video production. Camera switching, graphics, special effects, virtual sets, and more. You can stream your production live to the internet and record up to 8 separate channels of HD video all in one system. NewTek TriCaster. It's a television studio in a box. Find out more at newtek.com.
Now, as you can see, don't you love technology? Yeah, no problem. There we go. How are the girls? Uh-huh. Come on, boy, just a little.
Scott, business is tough, but with great offers at Avis.com, we give you the space to turn your business trip into a bizcation. Avis, it's your space.
We are World Vision, and we believe in children. We believe in God's calling to share our lives with them, to share a meal, to share water, to share love, to share a full life.
If you believe, share with a child today at worldvision.org/share.
2010, they were a 9 seed, beat UNLV. Ben Jacobson's team then beat #1 ranked Kansas. The famous Ali Farouk-Manez shot, one of the famous in the program, and then before that, then they lost to Michigan State, but finished that year third.
We are World Vision, and we
coach right there.
Farouk-Manez, Ali Farouk-Manez on the cover of Sports Illustrated, blown up and now hangs in the Northern Iowa coach's office.
Peters at the line on the 1-and-1, and he puts it through, or actually on the 3-point play, excuse me, to make it a 10-point Maryland lead. This is their largest lead of the game. Now, how does Northern Iowa respond here?
Well, let's see if they change the angle of this ball screen because of the way that Maryland has been playing it and stop their penetration.
Tuttle on the baseline, spins around Bohannon, the quick 3. And that won't crawl in, and it's Lehman again, who we talked about in the open, making another big rebound. Here's Peters, Terps, Mitchell. No, Rank with the rebound.
Well, Peters has been able to carve up the inside of the defense of Northern Iowa.
And there's the 3 for Bohannon. The sharpshooter gets his second 3 of the game.
We talked to Ben Jacobson at shoot-around. He said Matt Bohannon may be the best 3-point shooter he's had in his program, and my reaction was, Coach, remember a guy named Ali Farouk-Manez? He said, well, he's got the potential to be the best 3-point shooter. we have had some pretty good ones.
Bohannon, a member of the old bench team for the Missouri Valley Conference last year. Mitchell going up, getting fouled. Varun Ram checking back in for Maryland, and he'll be whistled for his 3rd foul of the game. And Des Wells will get a short-lived rest for the Terrapins at the same time that Washburn comes out for Morgan, and now here's Monica Jonigan with more.
Those last 2 play guys, they were going against what Coach Turgeon told them to do. He said, we're going to run more plays for Jake. Number 1 is their number 1 option. It's what's working. Look for Smottry to get more action coming down in this half.
Thank you, Monica. Something to look for. Keep your eye out for the former Michigan transfer, number 1 and on Maryland's side. Here's Tuttle. Strong move to the lane, but giving up the little weight to Mitchell, and he's thrown down, but will get 2 shots.
Tuttle creates the contact. Need to get himself to the free throw line. Mitchell trying to hold his ground. I'll tell you, one of the toughest things to do as a college coach, how do you teach your players to defend the post because of these rules?
Tuttle at the line, and he scores it. Well, being a former head coach yourself, Kevin, what would you do?
Well, you can arm bar, but when the post player catches, you have to drop the arm bar, and these offensive players understand that. I immediately take up that real estate about 18 inches. Tuttle then lean in to Mitchell as Mitchell's moving, draws the foul, but Tuttle not able to complete from the free throw.
Tuttle is first missing 7 tries from the line. 47-41, Maryland's lead down to 6 points. Here's Smotrich and some battling in the post, and it looks like maybe Bohannon, and he'll be called. Is that his 4th? Yes, it is.
Well, Bohannon's been trying to bounce through screens the entire game. They're running Lehman on baseline picks, and he has such a height advantage. He comes off those down screens. Bohannon can't get back to him. And now we've got Wes Washburn has to come back in. Bohannon's going to take a rest. Now that is one of their best 3-point shooter. Washburn not known to hit the 3.
Bohannon was 5 for 7 from 3-point range. Had his first 20-point game of his career against Loyola Marymount. And yes, we remind you can throw into the backcourt on the out-of-bounds play. So Peters retrieves.
And the freshman Jeremy Morgan has to give the Panthers a lift from the 3-point line.
Double team on Clear, gets it away quickly. Peters, the mid-range jumper, not there, and an athletic rebound for Morgan. Mitchell back to Morgan for 3. And there's Washburn, another one of those volleyball rebounds to Tuttle. Nice dish from Mitchell.
Tuttle, former high school quarterback, has a great set of mitts. He catches it, got hands up. Mitchell, he knows Mitchell can deliver because Mitchell can slice and dice through that defense.
Tuttle now with 16 points tonight. Here's Wells bowling into Washburn, who will be called for the foul. That's Washburn's 2nd. And Peters will come out for fouls.
You talk about the new rules and freedom of movement. Des Wells knew he had an edge. Banks bounces into him. Oh, Mitchell. Great body control. He knew where this ball was going the entire time as he dumps it off to Tuttle.
Here's Smotrich using the mismatch with Washburn to his advantage. And just as Monica talked about, Coach Turgeon talking about how this guy needs to get involved, and he does there.
Well, he's got a height advantage and a size advantage.
And the missed layup from Mitchell trying to drive in among the trees. Here's Faust looking down the floor.
Boy, Faust has played extremely well for the Terrapins today. 12 points, and he's 5 for 7 from the field.
Wells and Faust with 22 of Maryland's 49. He's got Smotrich in the corner. Oh yeah, he's getting involved all right.
Well, Monica called it. Well, misdirection. Almost the same thing that Northern Iowa runs. Ball screen away, go back to the weak side as you sink in that defender as Chip Rank ran to help on the roll man. Smotrich wide open on the left wing.
Maryland 0 for their first 8 from 3-point range, 3 of their last 4 now. Trying to match, here's Rank, and he gets it. More like the rank and file right now. Everyone hitting from everywhere. 52-46, Maryland over Northern Iowa. 11:40 to go. It's a good one from the Paradise Jam here on the CBS Sports Network.
Are just the beginning at Frenchman's Reef and Morningstar Marriott Beach Resort. Discover a place where turquoise waters meet clear blue skies, where fine dining and poolside bars delightfully coexist, where fun and relaxation are an art form. A Marriott dream vacation awaits you here on the island of St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands. It's all here at Frenchman's Reef and Morningstar Marriott Beach Resort.
UVI is closer than you think.
At UVI, the beach is closer than you think.
At UVI, the professors are closer than you think.
At UVI, your success is closer than you think.
The University of the Virgin Islands is closer than you think.
All the way to the bottom. Part of the scenery here, and of course, as we talked about, the folks here drive on the left, and I have delegated all driving responsibilities to Kevin Lehman here. So not only is he coach extraordinaire, but also my chauffeur for the weekend.
Well, Danny, those assignments are going to change.
We'll see about that.
It gets a little dicey when you come out of a parking lot and hit on the right side. There's some headlights coming at you.
Yeah. Stop signs are suggestions here sometimes. Des Wells coming up the floor for Maryland. Got Faust, Smotrich on the floor, Lehman, and Clear. Starting 5 for the Terps. They're up by 6.
Smotrich with 13 points. A quiet 13 by the transfer from Michigan.
Got 3 double-figure scores for the Terrapins. Wells, one of them. Smotrich, can he keep the streak going? Oh, yes, he does.
The Maryland goes 0 for 8 in the first half from the three-point line. They are a sizzling 5 of 6 from the arc in the second half.
Straight away, here's Buss. Let's go down to Monica Johnny, and Monica, you might be Nostradamus at this point.
Coach Jacobs is telling his team, you have got to watch those high screens. They're looking for Smotrich. We know he's going to take the shot. You got to close him out and get to him every time. He also told his team, we're doing well in transition. Keep getting up the floor, keep pushing the ball. The more shots we can, the more easy buckets we can get, the better. Guys.
Well, right now it's 55-46 the score. Ben Jacobs' team has some work to do with plenty of time. 10:57 to go from the Easy Bonds Paradise Jam 2013. Paradise Jam doubleheader. Providence and LaSalle squaring off at 10:30 Eastern. College hoops from the U.S. Virgin Islands. Well, Kevin, we were talking about in the first half. Maryland was 0 for their first 8 from three-point range, but now 5 for their last 6.
And Coach Turner said, keep shooting the ball. See, Faust splashes one through, Layman off the down screen. And here's the big guy, Samatras. Little rub, tickles the twine. Same play going back the other way. Of course, Ben Jacobson, who Samatras is talking about stopping those threes. It's all coming off of screen and roll action that's distorting the Northern Iowa defense.
And he was telling his team in the huddle, stop number 1, stop Smotrich, and there's Smotrich with the rebound. And the Maryland attack is coming up the floor. Here's Layman to the hoop, and can't get it to go.
Excellent patience by Jake Lehman. Transition, stops and takes a look, ball fakes, opens up a driving lane, attacks the back.
So Layman to the line, came into the game 6 of 7, 2 of 2 tonight, has 9 points, and now has just become the 4th double-figure scorer for Maryland.
Jake Layman is a sophomore. He's a great presence about him, leadership qualities. Just love his game. 6'8", his height, can play in, can play out.
And he stood out in the Bahamas foreign tour his team had in August, averaging 20 points per game. Right now he's at 16 per game coming in to today's contest. And that is more than triple what he had last season. So he has far and away improved his game, and now Maryland has their largest lead at 11. And the Panthers stopped the bleeding, almost turned over by Mitchell. Mitchell the drive to Morgan, and he'll bank it in nicely.
There's the freshman, Jeremy Morgan. Comes from some great bloodlines. As his father, Michael Morgan, played for the Hawks on those great Tom Davis's team in the late 80s.
His mom, Chris, also played at Drake, 86 through 88. Can Layman be stopped? Well, this one's off the back rim. And now Mitchell off with the rebound and running the show for the Panthers as he comes up the floor. In the corner, the 3. Not there. Rank, though, the rebound, and Northern Iowa keeps it. Here's Mitchell again. Plows into Rom, and once again, the gutty little Varun Rom comes up with a huge play for the Terrapins.
He is a spark plug from Maryland. You see Mitchell lowers the shoulder. Rom takes the fall. Now that's a tough call when we talk about these new rules and freedom of movement. But Mitchell not in his shooting motion. Lowers the shoulder, offensive call.
Stay tuned, we still have another game to come. Providence, LaSalle, 9:30 p.m. Eastern time, right after our air, about 30 minutes or so. Wells off the back rim, and over on the far side, Bohannon is mobbed by Smotrich. That'll be the second on Evan, and they're gonna march down to the opposite stripe because both teams from this here on out of fouls.
Northern Iowa excels at the free throw line, especially this young man, Matt Bohannon.
13 of 16 at the line this season.
As a team, they shoot 77%. Now they're going to be shooting one-on-ones the rest of this contest.
Well, the free throw numbers favor the University of Northern Iowa. Maryland's just a 64% free throw shooting team.
Maryland can make free throws. It's their bigs that really struggle from their Charles Mitchell and Claire. And you've seen Mark Turgeon has gone to a smaller lineup with his bigs on the bench. He's got Smotrich and Layman as his, they would be forwards. They're playing without a center.
Over on the wing, here's Smotrich, gives it up to Faust. And Layman is butchered by Buss. And now free throws for Maryland, at least one.
Both teams in the bonus for the remainder of this game. Now, one adjustment Northern Iowa did make, their ball screen is now being set lower below the free throw line to allow Mitchell to get more penetration, Dion Mitchell.
Layman just creeps out on him. And here come the Panthers looking for response, down just by 7 now. Recently down by 11. They did score the first 7 of this game. Their last lead was in the first half. There's Mitchell to the hoop, struts to the hoop to make it a 5-point game.
Mitchell refuses the ball screen, finds an open lane. Big mistake by the defense, and Mark Turgeon wants to talk about this.
Maryland trying to stop the bleeding right now. Maryland 57, Northern Iowa 52. And let's check out Mitchell. Dion Mitchell making the play here for the Panthers.
Rodney Peters looks over his left shoulder for the screen. Mitchell does a blow-by. Easy basket. You see Rodney peek over that left shoulder. Mitchell sees it. Just explodes to the basket.
So much athleticism in the backcourt for Northern Iowa. We talked about the fact that Coach Jacobson had said that Washburn was the most athletic player he's had at Northern Iowa, but you could make the argument for Dion Mitchell as well.
Oh, no question for Danny. When Dion Mitchell came in as a freshman, this is a young man. They started him immediately. As I mentioned, he was a little loose with the basketball. He's gotten better every year, but they have certainly given him the green light to attack. And there's a good look at Wes Washburn, the transfer from Tennessee. But he's from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, Washington High School, just 60 miles from the Northern Iowa campus. Opportunity to transfer back closer to home.
Played his first season at Quanzo Martin at Tennessee. Quanzo still looking for his first NCAA appearance with the Bulls. There's Peters trying to dunk it, but leaves the ball into the corner. Baseline underneath, and the reverse is there for Smotrich.
Northern Iowa got caught going to offensive transition before they had possession. Smotrich, huge impact on this game as he has 18 points.
He's got a season high 18 points, does Evan Smotrich, coming up big when they need him. Mitchell runs into the big man. That's 6'9" Smotrich against 6'1" Mitchell. And now Wells steps out. The 3 not there for Mitchell. Tip to Rank. Bohannon for 3. No good from 21. A collision. And free throws now. We're heading the opposite way for the Terrapins.
Now that last possession, Mitchell had Smotrich on him. Bus came to ball screen. Ben Jacobson waved him away. He said, I want the mismatch. I want the point guard on their big man. So look for Northern Iowa trying to take advantage of those mismatches when Dion Mitchell gets a big on him on the perimeter. As Mitchell is having his way of carving through the interior of Maryland's defense.
Des Wells 19 of 21 at the line. There's no better guy they would have at the line than him right now. On the 1-and-1, no good. But he grabs his own rebound and will reset it for the Terrapins. Maryland trying to go to 3-2 and trying to advance to tomorrow night's championship game against the winner of the next game we'll have for you, Providence and LaSalle. Here's Wells to the hoop, and it's going to be a goaltend. Washburn, maybe that athleticism worked against him there. He touches the rim, and Maryland gets the points and a 9-point lead for the Terrapins. 7:43 to go. We'll be back right after this here on CBS Sports Network.
We're at the 2013 Paradise Jam. In 14 years here on St. Thomas, we've done a lot of awesome things, but never something like this.
This is the water jetpack, new here to St. Thomas. Anyone who's ever dreamt of flying, ever wanted to learn how to fly, this is about as close as it gets. On an introductory flight, you're going to be porpoising like a dolphin, you're going to be running on the water, and of course flying high like Buzz Lightyear. So those are kind of the three things you're going to be doing in an introductory flight.
Perfect. Right arm up, right arm up, right arm up a little, right arm up. There you go. Just like that. That's exactly where I want you. Right.
Matchup Providence against LaSalle, the Explorers.
Ben Jacobson, the head coach, now in the 8th season, was an assistant before from 2001 to 2006. 5 tourney appearances in the last 10 years for Northern Iowa, almost throwing it away. Buss has it, to the hoop he goes, and hit by Clear on his way to the bucket.
And Buss may have gotten away with a travel. He picked up that loose ball, a little spin before he attacked the basket. Grabs it, a little extra step. Buss will try and finish.
Buss rolls it in. And Lehman almost had the steal and 2 easy points. As it is, Buss scores. He's got 7 on the night. And now make it 8. It's going to go down to Monica Jonigan as Maryland opens up a 7-point lead.
Guys, you saw the Panthers come out of that timeout a little out of sync. Coach Jacobson gave them a lot of options to work with. He wants them to run their offense and really try to work on their options. First, cut down low. If it's not there, fan out and look for your screens. I think they were a little confused. He gave them like 3 plays to work with on that one, guys.
Thank you, Monica. Here's Lehman in the corner, blocked by Buss. Well, that's one thing about Ben Jacobson's teams. They don't really get fazed by this adversity. You see Mitchell coming down the lane, and this is what we talk about. Ben Jacobson's team well prepared for these types of situations.
Mitchell can go wire to wire. He's explosive. Again, Mark Turgeon does not like what he's seen from his defense.
He's got 2 timeouts left. Northern Iowa with 3. It's a 5-point game, but it's Mitchell and his athleticism on display again.
Number 1 rule, Roddy Peters violated. Get the ball stopped in transition. Mitchell just puts his head down and goes all the way to the rack.
Now, Roddy Peters had gone into the season after the injury to Allen, and we talked about the transfer for Keyshawn Howard going to USC. He said he's learning on the fly. Remember, he's a freshman. Now he's having to play point guard for a Division I team with expectations certainly ratcheted up. This being the last year in the ACC before Maryland goes to the Big Ten. You've got Wells playing out of position, and you've had a lot of guys trying to take the reins. Varun Ramos certainly showed he's capable defensively, but this is kind of like a trial by fire for Peters because Allen won't be back until, as we mentioned, probably January.
And Peters takes a seat on the bench. Cardinals sin there on defense. You've got to get your defense set. You've got to stop the basketball. Mitchell with excellent inline to inline speed.
Sitting right next to Allen, in fact, getting some counsel at the moment. It's a 5-point game. Maryland on top.
Well, Mark Turgeon knew what he was getting into when he faced these Northern Iowa Panthers. He said, I have to convince my team, as Monica pointed out, that the Panthers are for real. They will not go away.
Consecutive 3-pointers blocked by the Panthers. We'll have a chance to cut further into this Maryland lead. Nice pass by Mitchell, and even better defense by Clear to deny Tuttle.
Well, there's a flat screen by Tuttle on the weak side. It opened him up on the roll. There was no help defense. That is an excellent play by Northern Iowa as it takes away any chance to help on the roll man.
Shaquille Clear, number 44, is a native of the Bahamas.
Same play again.
Here's Bohannon, drops it off. Corner 3 for Buss. Oh, yeah, he's got it.
Nate Buss is 6'9", and he knows where the hoop is hung.
Under 6 minutes to go, it's a 2-point game. The lob to Lehman. and the foul.
What a great play by Maryland as Clear with the back screen catches just enough of Buss that he can't recover. Jake Layman converts.
And Faust pounds his chest. But first we look at the Buss pulling into the Virgin Islands Sport and Fitness Center. Nate Buss with a couple of crucial three-pointers, but a three-point play, and then this play.
Wow. Miscommunication. Seth Tuttle, give me some help. Your man screened me.
Bad pass by Morgan, taken away by Smotrich. Here's Layman down the lane. Can't get it to go, but Smotrich with the follow. And he ties a career high with those 20 points.
That's all made by Faust. Faust defensively has disrupted Northern Iowa's offense on numerous occasions. Great spacing. But how about the second effort hustle by Smotrich, and he fouls it up.
Boy, Kevin, this is only November, but this has the feel of a March game right now.
No question. And you know, these teams have started practice earlier now because of the change in NCAA rules. They start practicing late September. You've seen much better basketball in the month of November because of those extra practices. And of course, Maryland, a team that went to the Bahamas for a summer tour and played long into the NIT.
Mitchell at the line now has 11 points. And Chip Rank will come in for Tuttle with 6 to go. Northern Iowa not going anywhere. It's 66-61 Maryland.
Well, Maryland trying to deliver the knockout punch, but Northern Iowa keeps answering in some way, whether it's Mitchell slicing through the defense or getting through the free throw line, or Buss coming off the bench to knock in the deep three. And this is what Mark Turgeon talked about. I want my team to come to these tournaments, have to face different teams with great tradition that know how to win. It's going to help my team grow for ACC play.
Faust fouled on the ground, but it won't matter. From this point on, it'll be 2 free throws guaranteed. The foul is actually Buss's 5th, but that is a big 5th foul because Buss was the big guy making all the threes for Northern Iowa. Now he's done for the final 5:13. He's done for the night.
Huge lift off the bench by Nate Buss, especially in the first half when they were struggling. He came in and blasted his 2 3 balls to get Northern Iowa back in the game.
Now Tuttle will be back in for him. They'll get 30 seconds to replace him before they get back out on the floor for the 2 free throws for Faust. Maryland 66, Northern Iowa 61. Smotrich leading all scorers, tying a career high with 20 points tonight for the Terrapins.
And this is where Northern Iowa knows they have to make consecutive stops at the defensive end. You cannot trade basket for basket with only 5 minutes left in this game, down 5.
Ben Jacobson certainly knows well about Mark Turgeon, who was coaching in the Missouri Valley Conference from 2000 through 2007 at Wichita State.
Two men that have great respect for each other's coaching abilities, great respect for each other as people.
To the line goes Faust. 12 points tonight on his end, but can't hit the free throw. And here comes Shaquille Clear into the game for Peters.
Mark Turgeon will back with that big lineup with Clear inside. Faust has made a huge difference in this game at the defensive end.
6-point game, Maryland on top. Northern Iowa possession. Glad you could join us. Danny Lee, Kevin Lehman, Monica Jonigan, the first of 2. We'll have Providence and LaSalle in a little bit after this one. Mitchell to the hoop. Goes up on Faust, who knocks it away. Wells trying to lead it in transition, and he's stripped by Washburn. Out of bounds it goes. It'll stay in Terrapin possession.
Well, again, this play we've seen Northern Iowa run before where Mitchell refuses the screen and tries to get to the basket, but that time Wells, a little quicker and stronger, and Roddy Peters shuts him off.
Wells has it. Layman, Smotrich, Faust, and Clear. They're 5. They're in the white, and they've led for the entire second half. Nice hesitation, dribble underneath and can't hang on. And the Panthers take advantage of the turnover. They've scored just 6 points off the Terrapins turnovers so far tonight.
That possession was an opportunity for Maryland to create a little space.
Tuttle trying to get rid of it. Instead, it's taken away by Maryland, and good defense. Boy, Mitchell runs the full 94 feet here.
We talked about explosive, and Ben Jackson talked about Deion Mitchell developing as a leader for this Northern Iowa team, as they had 4 seniors graduate from a year ago. Those were the 4 seniors that played on that team that went to the Sweet 16 as Lehman tries to make a statement.
Lehman tried to dunk over Washburn. And Washburn will be picking up his 3rd foul of the game. So Lehman, who has scored 20, or make that 13 points tonight. Smotrich leading Maryland with 20. You know, we look at Washburn there, he's got a little bit of that old school Kendall Gill look with the flat top going.
High and tight.
Yeah, Lou Henson back late 80s, early 90s New Jersey Nets. The first of 2 for Lehman. Second one is good as well. Maryland by 8. And the fan base is taking turns making noise here inside the Sports and Fitness Center in the Virgin Islands. Easy Bonds Paradise Jam 2013. It's been a good semifinal number 1. And Mitchell is denied. Keeps attacking and strips from behind.
Jake Lehman has really locked on to Matt Bohannon and taken away his 3-ball. Early they peeked off Bohannon, he got some open looks, but when the ball is driven, Lehman was locked right into Bohannon's number.
Clear under pressure, gets it out to Wells, 6 on the shot clock. All alone is Faust, jump stop, short. And there's Washburn with the rebound.
In the last 3 possessions, Maryland a chance to really make a bigger lead, but not able to do it. Washburn attacks, now go to the free throw line.
Washburn will get 2 free throws, all expenses on the foul, paid by Clear. 69-61 the score, Maryland on top. Stick around for the finish right here on CBS Sports Network.
Welcome to Belongo Bay Beach Resort, St. Thomas, the Caribbean's most entertaining beach resort. Experience the Caribbean's most entertaining beach resort, Belongo Bay Beach Resort, St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. No passport required.
Imagine the power of a giant TV production truck in a compact portable video production system. NewTek TriCaster has everything you need for a network-style video production. Camera switching, graphics, special effects, virtual sets, and more. You can stream your production live to the internet and record up to 8 separate channels of HD video all in one system. NewTek TriCaster. It's a television studio in a box. Find out more at newtek.com.
Now, as you can see, don't you love technology? Yeah, no problem. There we go. How are the girls? Uh-huh. Come on, boy, just a little. Scott.
Business is tough, but with great offers at Avis.com, we give you the space to turn your business trip into a bizcation. Avis, it's your space.
We are World Vision, and we believe in children. We believe in God's calling to share our lives with them, to share a meal, to share water, to share love, to share a full life.
If you believe, share with a child today at worldvision.org/share.
13 points, 3 important steals, 9 steals total for the Terrapins.
Nick Faust has caused disruption in the Northern Iowa offense. UNI with 14 turnovers. That is not typical of a Ben Jacobson team.
Season average was 12 coming in. Now Washburn, who's helped fill up the stat sheet as well, going to the line. West tonight, this is his first free throw attempted, and he misfires coming into the game. Washburn 11 for 15, redshirted last year. Played in only 17 games for Tennessee the year before. Makes it a 7-point game, and Des Wells and Maryland trying to go to 3-2 and trying to stay unblemished here at the Paradise Jam. In the corner, Smotrich. Baseline. Oh, and Faust runs right over the defense of Bohannon.
Not easy to get a charge with the new rules, but Bohannon was sitting and waiting. Little movement at the end.
So Nick Faust for Maryland, giving it away, and now it's a 7-point advantage for Northern Iowa, 2:50 to go. Tuttle hands off to Mitchell. The mismatch on the big man, and Washburn hesitant to shoot. Nice pass to Tuttle. Good defense by Wells. And they're going to try and figure it out here, and it's going to stay with Northern Iowa. But just to look back on the keys, Kevin, and see where we are now with 2:34 to go, where we were before the game.
Northern Iowa really wanted to set their defense. Not a very good job, as they gave up 15 points off turnovers, 10 off fast break points. And they had to make threes, just 7 of 25.
2 in the shot clock, 1. Mitchell to beat the horn. The tip there for Tuttle.
And Maryland has had some great point guard play. That was one of their keys. Only 7 turnovers, point guard by committee, and guard the arc. 28% from the arc. Great defense by Maryland.
Tuttle with 19, 5 shy of his career high. Here's Lehman.
Important possession for both teams. Maryland at the offensive end. Of course, the Panthers need a stop.
And Wells put it through, and he spins and does.
Des Wells just overpowered Washburn on that play.
Just over a minute and a half to go. Tuttle will rise, fire, and hit off the back heel. And it's Wells skying for the rebound.
Tuttle 0 for 5 from the arc. He's had some great looks, but not able to drill them.
There's 75 seconds to play here at the University of the Virgin Islands Sports and Fitness Center.
Northern Iowa still keeping that packed-in defense. They're going to have to come out and pressure as time is their enemy.
Wells stripped. Lehman with the dagger. He's got it.
Loose ball ends up in the right person's hands.
Washburn tried to dunk it, then lay it up, and he can't get it to go. And that might be the death knell for Northern Iowa in this one. And Wells goes flying into the scorekeeper's stanchion right there. But this was so important. Jake Lehman, Kevin.
Offense by accident. Loose ball rebound by Wells. Knocks it out to Lehman, who's towing the three-point line. Well, he has been dangerous for Maryland. And then Northern Iowa forced to foul, put Maryland at the free throw line.
And if you're Mark Turgeon, you're holding your breath right now. You don't want to see Des Wells clutching the side. He's already lost 1 point guard until January, another one transferring. And Wells, point guard for now, coming to the line.
And an easy game for him to play point because Northern Iowa did not full court pressure. They played that pack-in defense. So Des Wells can run the offense even though he's not a natural point. That really played in the favor of Maryland's offense.
4 double-figure scores for both teams. Maryland once again up by 11, 75-64. Mitchell for the Panthers will take it all the way. And Ben Jacobson will use a timeout. So you look at the clock and, well, the math does not necessarily work out for the Panthers here, Kevin. As the coach play the role of Ben Jacobson, what are you telling this team right now?
Well, you know that Maryland's going to give you layups like they just did, but you need threes. You've got to, if you go to full court pressure now, you don't steal the inbounds pass, you've got to foul immediately, try to trade 2s for 3s. Nate Buss, one of their best three-point shooters, is on the bench with 5 fouls.
Maryland turning in a very consistent game from the floor, playing the defense, 9 steals, 20 for Smotrich. Lehman was 16, UNI, well, a lot of turnovers tonight, 14 at last count, and Tuttle leading the way with those 19 points. But they had the lead early. They held the lead with 1:31 to go in the first half, the last lead they had, and they've been trying to play catch up the entire second half. And unless they get some fortunate set of circumstances here, they might fall here to Maryland.
This is a situation where Ben Jacobson likes to run a 3 for a look for Chip Rank. And you see Nate Buss, who has drained a number of 3s, on the bench with 5 fouls. But look for, in the offensive end, Tuttle or Rank to step out for a 3.
Wells under pressure. And he's fouled over on the opposite side of the floor. The best free throw shooter for Maryland coming in. And he'll get a chance to perfect the craft as he goes back to the line. And this is the 5th foul now on Dion Mitchell. Mitchell playing a solid game, but he, along with Buss, both Panthers who have fouled out tonight.
And Mitchell is able to carve up the inside of Maryland's defense with ball screen, refusing the screen and getting to the rim. Fouled out with 13 points. Dion Mitchell, the junior out of Pflugerville, has to take a seat on the bench.
Just took that opportunity to say Pflugerville again.
It just rolls off your tongue.
Mitchell out with those 13 points. And remember, just as Maryland will take on the winner of the game following this, Providence and LaSalle tomorrow, which starts 30 minutes after this one. Those 2 winners will play tomorrow as the late game. The loser will play Northern Iowa if Northern Iowa is unable to come back in the final 35.8 seconds. It's a disappointed Dion Mitchell, competed the entire game. Just Maryland too much.
Maryland is the length and strength of this team just can wear into as the game goes on, but they definitely had to earn this victory over the Northern Iowa Panthers. The Panthers picked 3rd in the Missouri Valley Conference behind Wichita State. We know how good that program is. They're running the Final Four, and Indiana State, who knocked off Notre Dame at Notre Dame last week.
We did not see a reprisal of the Missouri Valley Conference ACC upset here today. Smotrich fouled. But that's been one thing I talked about early on. And you heard John Swofford, the ACC commissioner, talking about the fact that the ACC, this was the year. They had a collection of some of the greatest teams ever assembled. But so far we saw North Carolina fall to Belmont, BC to Toledo, Notre Dame lose to Indiana State, and then Oregon State beat these Terrapins. And then Miami, of course, losing to St. Francis, Virginia Tech to SC, South Carolina upstate. So Maryland needing those key wins. This will obviously help, certainly, over Northern Iowa, but they had a chance to beat a Connecticut team, which would have been a marquee win for them, but lost by the point.
And Mark Turgeon has talked about this team, how much he likes it. Once they get Seth Allen back, pushes Wells back to that natural scoring position on the wing. He really likes the potential of this Terrapin team. But as he keeps saying, like all coaches, we have to get better defensively.
Faust drills the free throw to make it an 11-point game, and Ben Jacobson's team in danger of dropping to 2 and 3. Their wins this season over Coe College, Division III, and Loyola Marymount, their only Division I win.
They got huge games coming up with Iowa State on a neutral court and VCU.
In the corner, the three-pointer not there for Rank. And then Faust goes all the way down and punctuates this one with a dunk. Right wing three. Bohannon not there. Bohannon at the top of the arc. That's not there. And Peters with the rebound, but Faust started it off for Mark Turgeon, and Faust ends it emphatically.
What a great game as you see those two coaches have great respect for one another, meet at half court. But Faust at the defensive end, some great plays for Maryland.
Maryland improves to 3-2 on the season. University of Northern Iowa drops to 2-3. Final score, Maryland 80, Northern Iowa 66, and they'll advance to play the winner of the game coming up, Providence LaSalle. We'll be back to wrap this one up. Mark Turgeon's team victorious.